Hey everybody, welcome back to another tutorial with the Hasty Train Maker, Bruce. And we're going to be doing do-it-yourself hay bales. Yes, we are, do-it-yourself hay bales. Nice, fast, and easy. So let's have a train ripping fun time and get to it, guys. Alright guys, so we're going to need a few items here. We're going to need a roll of tape. You're going to need some rope. So here I'm just using dollar store corded rope here. You know, your basic, I don't know where my spool went, but I found what my kid was using. I've already got some pre-cut, but I will show you how to do it. You're going to need a glue gun and some glue sticks, not too many of them. And I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, that's, oh, and something to work on. I take some cardboard, or usually cardboard, or I take some construction paper. I tape it down to my display, and don't mind my mess here, sorry guys. I was doing some hobbies and I thought I got more cleaned up than I did. Grab a good pair of scissors that are going to cut, and let's start getting going. There's two ways we can do this. So you will see some people already using this with a teased out look. This is good, you can do that too. So no issues there one bit doing it. I'm lazier. I get the same effect just having to roll it. I use a straight piece of the cord. So it gives the same effect. You're going to get your desired length. I like a little bit longer just because I'm doing hay bales. And you're just going to cut it up into a container. So just like this. And we're not going to cut this whole string because I've already got the demonstration. So it comes up nice fluffy already. You can mix it in and just tease it in with your already existing hay if you already have some. Or you can take, I like to do this two different ways, guys. I do this two different ways. I do little cuts. So just little cuts, because as you're cutting it teases up. And as I get my desired amount over here, so this could be a little more time processing. Because teasing or not teasing, it's still going to be time processing. So I just take my fingers and I just tease a little bit at a time. So I just tease it really quick. Go on to my next little bit here. But I've been doing the last few times, I've been doing thicker cuts, or longer cuts, not thicker. Because I find if I'm just going to do a few from each, just so you can see there's not much of a difference. So I'm going to take this one right here, that I just cut, and I'm going to quickly just try to tease the fibers apart. I don't need them too well because we are going to be making a hay bale here. I just need them enough, but there we go. This one here my son was playing with and really reaping on this. Usually they don't, I just have to roll them in my fingers. And of course, I'm doing a demonstration here, so it's not going to want to go the easiest. So you can take your teased stuff too, and you can do it just as long. It doesn't really matter, because I find the longer, the better you get for your hay bale. As you get a curl up, you just get way more. See, I find you still have to tease, even when you tease still, so I just find why tease it, cut it, and then tease some more. Because these are the ones I just cut. So I got enough, I should be able to do 2 or 3 bales. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one short little piece of tape like this. I'm not sure if you can see it. Short little piece of tape. And I'm going to take one long piece and approximate it to what my length of my paper is going to be. You can make these as shorter you do, the thinner, tinier bale you have. The longer you do, I find the thicker, longer bale you have. So I take my tape. I put it lengthwise, and I'll pick this up and show you. Tape the first one down, and then I take my tape and go lengthwise again at the bottom, and I fasten it. And I'm not sure, oh, I can't really, as you can see on the reflection, I've got it. So now I just take my hay bale, and I need a cup of coffee, Java. And I just take some of this cut, and I lay it down and across. I'm not caring how nice, how neat it is. I just want my tape covered. I'll show you a nice, good close up on this. And we're only going to do one bale with this because I do my bales two different ways. I like to have mine a little bit greener and a little more sat out than this, and sometimes I mix the two. So this I do solely, and we'll bring the camera over. Okay, so I do this solely going across. You see how I got the whole, you see how I got my tape passing down? I do this for the first one, and don't worry, because as you can see where there's overhang tape, we're going to use that overhang. Alright, I also like to take static grass, and I'm going to actually just throw a little bit in with this one here, and we're going to do one right here. And I discovered this by playing around, as I didn't want to cut up more cord and I wanted to see what happened. So you can take some static grass and do some smaller, fresher looking hay bales like they were just kind of, you know, harvested. Before I do the third one, I'm going to be using a mixture of, and these ones here come out very thin, and I usually give them, after they set and they dry, I generally give them a little coating on the top and the side with a hairspray or a watered down glue, 50-50 mixture of glue and water, and then I give them a little extra spray and then sprinkle some on top to take, and they look really actually cool on your diorama. Alright, so let's get to the first one. What I do is I usually peel back the tape a little bit. We did this wrong. Okay, so when you get your tape peeled off here, we're going back and I unrolled because I knew I did something wrong here. Take your tape off and peel. Flip it over so your flock is on the down low side. You want your, now you want your extra, your material on the bottom. You're reversing your side. And you're going to take the tape side you just undid, and you're going to fold it over. And don't worry if you start losing stuff on the way out. You want to try to get a nice tight fold on here. Nice tight fold. And I should have more on here, but I kind of screwed up and rolled the wrong way, so I'm kind of backtracking. So I'm just going to take some of my excess that comes off on the side. I'm going to take my fingers because I know I'm not going to stay on course. And I'm just going to keep on rolling and rolling. Stop and pull and rewind it up because I know I'm coming off course. Every once in a while I like to stop as I'm trying to come, and I like to pull off some of the stuff that's sticking out. You can come back over sometimes with scissors and cut off the excess, or like I've done in the past, you can take a lighter. Sometimes I just leave some lighting hanging out all scraggly, just so it kind of gets that more realistic look. Okay, so I'm going to peel off that corner tape I was using. I'm still on course, I believe, so I'm just going to make sure I'm still on course, because you can feel on your roll if it's sticking out. You're going to feel if you're going off the line of the tape. And I'm just going to keep on going and going, and I'm going to pull off a little bit more of this because I know I'm coming down to the end. And this is why I'm doing one at a time, because I want to do a little bit different over on the last one, and I'm going to need some of the excess block from the other two. Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm going to give, whoa, this will happen to you, whoa. I'm going to pull this back because I lost my nice tight roll. Okay, I'm going to give it one more tight go. I leave access. There's about a finger mark right here of access. I come with my glue gun just before my finger, and I take a little bead, just a little bead, and I go from inside out. Bring your fingers to the corner and then roll in. And I just usually let this sit right here on the glue and let the glue rest against the bottom of the cardboard. So you get a really nice, and we'll come in here in a second. So as you can see, you get your first nicely rolled hay bale. And I need to find out why my camera must be dirty on the top. must need a wash. Hello, miss. Right, I'm going to do the same process with the one that I did the static grass on. Oh, see, I'm not too worried about that because I'm going to take that and mix it in with this, and we're going to do a combo mix shortly. So I'm going to take this up, I'm going to bring it off, I'm going to peel my tape on the top like we did the other one, flip it over. I like to give this one usually just a smooth go over, and this one here is going just to be an insy tinsy one. So I generally, with these insy tinsy ones, I'm not too concerned about how tightly rolled it is till I start getting about halfway down. So I don't mind if it's not tightly rolled, because then I can start folding up and doing double folds and give me a bit wider of a I can already see this one coming off, so we'll push it in. It gives me a bit thicker of a pressure bale before the straw dries out completely and really fluffies out. Because as you're going down a wheat field, at least in southern Alberta, you'll see a lot of the dried up looking ones, and you see some that are still greenish from after the being harvested. So I wanted some that looked like they were just harvested and some that were a little bit harvested a bit longer. So we're going to quickly... These ones are a little more time process because the block is harder to keep together, but I really find they come out looking nice once you get them on the display board. I came across this because I was, like I said, didn't want to have to cut up more, and usually I peel this off at the beginning. I didn't want to have to cut up more cord because my fingers were sore from arthritic issues. Okay, so I'm coming up to my finger length. I'm going to pull, make sure I'm even. I'm going to just move some of this out of the way. I don't care if I get some on here because we're going to mix this, remember? I'm going to come just above finger out, just a little dab, in to out. I'm going to reposition my fingers because you don't want to burn yourself on hot glue. And why I say in to out is because when you're folding, your glue's going to push out, so you get it being able to fold in and lock on better, and you're able to let it rest on here and manipulate it and let it hold. So I'm going to remove this for a second. I'm just going to take my access block here. I don't care if some of this got on here. I'm just going to mix some of this cheese and try to get the static grass catching on more to this and falling into my field bale. And the reason I'm not too worried about how it really looks is a lot of this gets hid, but if you're going to leave it on the sides a while tasseled out, you'll see the green catching on and locking in. So I'm just going to, like I did the other one, I'm just going to quickly, and you can play. I've got some on here where I took wild foliage from outside that was dying, and I experimented with different colors on how to disinfect it, and got some cool looking wild grass, and it made for some great hay bales as well. So as you can see, I've got my base covered. I'm just going to peel off my layer of tape. Come on. Just, you know, this always goes smooth until you do a tutorial. And then all the time, anything that can go wrong, ask anyone who does tutorials. Anything that can go wrong for you, that generally doesn't go wrong when you're doing these on your own, goes wrong. It does. Trust me, it does. Alright guys, let's peel off this top layer tape here first so you don't get frustrated like I did near the end. I'm just going to skirt this one off now because it should be dry enough that I can peel. And don't worry if you get some of this peel off, because all you're going to do is, oh yeah, there you go, just poke it off right here and where it's going to sit, and you're going to put your glue down on it, glue it to your base. Just comes right off and takes that. So I just personally, you know, if you get something like this on here, that little black speck, I usually use a cardboard box that's got the same color, so I don't usually worry about that too much. But I started off with here, and when I glue it down, I just glue it right on there, and it doesn't show. Okay, so I've got this down. I'm going to just give a quick smooth out with my finger, give a flip in, and I'm going to start my nice tight roll on these ones. And already I can feel like I've come off. And you can also tuck, if you want to get some thicker ones, you can also tuck your sides in as you're going and get a thicker hay bale. This is all about how thick you want it or how thick you don't want it. So I'm just trying to get mine back online because I felt it going out as I was pinching it around. And you're going to realign this several times as you're going. You see, I'm going quicker now. I've done so many of these. I'm just going to make this one a bit thicker hay bale, so I want to roll this back in and tuck. And I'm offline again, so I'm going to pull some of my excess off on this one. I'm going to go on this side. I don't got too much excess on this side, and I'm nicely lined up. And I'm just going to roll. Let's roll it out. Roll out. Okay, I don't want this any thicker, so this is going to be a nice thick one on my board as is. So we'll pull the excess off. I'm getting near to the end. I'm going to give a pull because I want it nice and tight. Tuck in the last of this stuff. Make sure I'm lined up. Take my glue gun because I'm about a finger away. And bam. Oh, and it's 7 o'clock already, guys. Holy cow. I leave my alarm going in the morning, so let's snooze because I let go. And I'm just going to quickly take some of this excess I got laying here that came off, and I'm going to clean it up as it's sitting here. And I'm going to give it a push in on the side just to make sure. These two, usually I do a whole bunch and I don't take them off, so when I finally take them off at the end, I'm actually able to just hang them all upside down like this and kind of, I just go around and I give it a quick look. Because this is one of my thicker ones, so I want to make sure it's going to solidify and stand. And there we go. Booyah! There's another hay bale. So let's bring this one up and let you see this one. If it doesn't look as pretty with the light on it, we will trim this. See, this is why it's good to come over and check, because I can pull this out. This one's looking. So we're going to trim this one up because remember I said you can trim? This one's got too much hang off that I just can't get nice and neat, so or neat enough or realistic. So this is what I said, you can trim. You don't always have to. Don't worry about pulling out or if you have too much overhang, because I've got one with, we just had a trim. I'm going to take one here. I'm going to actually just trim a little bit off the bottom because it doesn't look natural enough to me. So I want it with some hang out. That looks, yeah, see, I generally like to come back and trim because you don't always get a nice natural hang out when you have it pulled where you got some strands coming out, so sometimes you need to come back over here and trim a little bit, which is fine. I've got actually a smaller pair of scissors I generally use for this, and these ones you never have to trim because it's just a block and or static grass and it comes out nice and easy. So let's bring my camera in here. So as you guys can see, here's our do-it-yourself hay bales. And this is our farm scene that we have them in. And in my opinion, I think they look pretty darn sharp. And if you look carefully back here, here's our
static grass. Here's our regular hay bale right here, and underneath in the back is our mix. So yeah, as you can see, this is how you can incorporate your hay bale into a scene. So for Christmas or Halloween. So yeah, if you want to incorporate these also for your wargaming, as you can see, you can use them on a display. This is originally my diorama for my old wargaming figures that I end up using and becoming a train junkie over. Also see over here, there's a soldier within the mix there. So, you know, you can use these on war gaming dioramas as well.
All right, there, guys. So if you're doing a project that has a farm layout and you're looking for hay bales, this was a nice, quick, easy way to do them. Cheap, they look good on a layout. So whether you're doing a wargaming scene or some other type of diorama that's fields and you want hay bales and you don't want to spend the money for them, this was the way to do it. So if you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Sure helps out in the algorithm department. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It sure helps out. So until the next time, this was the Hasty Train Maker. Do it yourself hay bales. Hope you guys have a terrific time, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.